Another week, another preview. Hello everyone, Brian State, and we welcome you to the Pioneer Weekly Recap and Preview Show. And we'll start out with one of our greatest all-time scorers in women's basketball history, and Sid Wilson, a graduate student this year for this Pioneer basketball team, traveled down to Carson-Newman, still resting on just 2 points for becoming the school's 18th player to score her 1,000th point. Didn't play the last 2 games. Prior to the game against Carson-Newman, just holding her out for precautions for a knee injury. Well, to wrap up the 3-game road swing against the arch rival, started the game 0 for 8. We still thought it was never going to happen, but it did. About 5 minutes into the second half, scoring a 5-point burst to give the Pioneers some life after trailing by 10 in that second half. Sydney Wilson scored 17 in the game against the Carson-Newman Eagles, and becomes the 18th player in school history to go for 1,000 points. Congratulations to Sydney Wilson attaining that goal. We turn our attention to indoor track and field, and Nicole McMillan has been on quite a run of late. All-American Nicole McMillan set a Tusculum and conference record in the women's 5K Saturday at the Gamecock Opener track and field meet. McMillan ran a time of just over 17 minutes, was also on the Division II provisional qualifying mark in the event, and one of 6 men's and women's school records set across 17 events over 2 days of completion by the Pioneers as well. Nicole McMillan shattered her school record of the 5 meters by more than a minute, having set the old mark at 18 minutes and 20 seconds, running this mark in 17 minutes and 1 second. So congratulations, Nicole McMillan, for her efforts. Was also named the AstroTurf South Atlantic Conference Indoor Track and Field Runner of the week. So congratulations to Nicole for that mark. Tusculum women's bowling, they had the holidays off, but they are back in action now. The women's bowling team finished 22nd at the 2020 Northeast Invitational. The 3-day 26-team tournament was held at the Bristol Pike Lanes, hosted by Sacred Heart University and Long Island University. The Pioneers went 1-2 in their Baker games. They defeated 2 top 20 teams as well. The Pioneers posted a 6-7 record for the weekend, including a 2-5 ledger against nationally ranked opponents. Tusculum returns to action this coming weekend as they travel to Chesterfield, Missouri for the Saints Invitational as well for the women's bowling team. Once again, best of luck to them as they move forward as well. Spring sports just around the corner once again, and that means that there's going to be a lot of preseason polls that will be out, and that is the case for the women's lacrosse teams. We turn our attention as we go outside. Tusculum has been picked to finish 9th this year's lacrosse preseason coaches poll, and senior midfielder Juliette Cusano was selected preseason second team all-conference in the voting by the conference's media relations offices as well. The Pioneers look to improve on their 4-win, 2-win conference season from a year ago, which had them tied for 6th in the standings with Coker and Mars Hill. The Pioneers will host Cumberland's in their season opener. That'll be Wednesday, February 12th at Pioneer Field. Travel to Newberry to start conference play Saturday, March 7th. And the Pioneers conclude the regular season Saturday, April 18th at home against the Wingate Bulldogs. Best of luck to the women's lacrosse team as they embark just very shortly. Again, spring season getting set to get underway. And more of that about the baseball team as well, as the Tusculum baseball team has been picked to finish 5th in the conference poll, and Dalton Martin was named to the preseason all-conference baseball team. The Pioneers received 95 votes. Catawba is the #1 favorite, once again putting together a strong postseason run last year, which included a tournament championship and the Division II Southeast Region Championship as well. Last year's regular season champion Newberry is second in the preseason poll, followed by LMU, Wingate, and then the Tusculum Pioneers. Martin was Tusculum's lone representative on the preseason poll. He's an All-American. Last year became the 3rd consensus All-American in program history, sweeping accolades in the ABCA, the National Collegiate Baseball Writers Association, and Division II Conference Commissioners Association as well. So congratulations to Dalton Martin. Tusculum will open the 2020 campaign next Friday night, January 31st, when the Pioneers take on Palm Beach Atlantic University as part of Tusculum's annual South Florida swing to start the baseball season. Best of luck to Brandon Steele and his Pioneers as well as they get set to compete to start this spring season, which always begins, for some reason, in the winter. And the Pioneers continue their stellar play. We'll have a look at the men's lacrosse and the preseason poll there as we get set for the spring. Women's tennis, golf, all of that getting set to get started in the spring. For the latest of any of these stories, you can always find out more through TusculumPioneers.com. Pioneers.com as well. Congratulations on the horizon for our Zaxby's athletes. We're going to talk about that, but our volleyball team will have their final home game of basically the month, but for definitely the month of January. If you haven't seen the men's volleyball team, this Saturday, the 25th, they'll take on Bluefield. You want to come and check it out because they won't be back at home until February 29th. So come see us on January 25th at home for the Tusculum men and their volleyball team. Our Zaxby's athletes of the week this week, a couple of runners and well-deserved as well. Will Cronin and Nicole McMillan, the Zaxby's athletes of the week. Cronin, the junior from Greenville, finished second in the 5,000 meters at the Gamecock Opener Saturday, ran a 14:54 to break his school record by nearly 15 seconds. Cronin's mark broke the school record of 15:09 set at the 19 South Atlantic Conference Indoor Championships as well. Gives him the 4 fastest indoor 5K times in school history. McMillan, a graduate for the Pioneers out of Ontario, broke the school and conference record and won the 5,000 meters at the Gamecock Opener Saturday at 17:01, as we talked about, shattered her school indoor record by more than a minute as well. So congratulations, Will Cronin, Nicole McMillan, our Zaxby's athletes of the week. Again, for more on these stories, visit our webpage through TusculumPioneers.com, and for all of the sports that may concern you, it's the easiest way to find out that information. For all of us here at the Pioneer Sports Network, thanks for tuning in, and until next week, go Pioneers.